Who are Trilobe watches? They're a young new brand that's based out of Paris, whose watches are made in Switzerland. They had a huge year last year, where two of their watches were nominated for the prestigious GPHG award. Out of the two watches that were nominated, one of them won the GPHG award for Nuit Fantastique. Exceptional watch, in my opinion. Now, most of their watches are made out of grade 5 titanium. They're also made in rose gold. The whole concept is they've reversed time, or they've liberated time, where traditionally we have a fixed dial with moving hands. This is the opposite, where you have the dial is comprised of 3 moving rings and a fixed arrow to indicate time. So the outer disc represents hours, second disc inside represents minutes, and the inner disc represents seconds. This makes for a very interesting play on traditional convention. I had heard about the brand earlier last year. I was in India and I was able to attend one of the 4 GPHG events, and I got to see the watches live. I was blown away. November, they won the GPHG award, November 10th. At the end of that month, I actually interviewed the CEO and founder, Gauthier Masseneau, who's very young and already incredibly accomplished at just 32 years old. December 2022, they celebrated their 4-year anniversary. There's 3 collections: Les Matinaux, the mornings; Nuit Fantastique, fantastic night; Un Full Journée, a crazy day. Now, Un Full Journée was nominated last year but didn't win, and probably their most futuristic watch that they make. Originally made with a black and blue accents and a super domed crystal, which gave it this outer space look, deconstructed look, a look into the movement, almost skeletonized, which allows the wearer to look into the heart and soul of the movement. This year, Un Full Journée came out in the Dune edition. Now, the Dune edition is basically the plate behind, which is sort of a light salmon color, which gives it that earthy feel, sophisticated look, and it gives it a warmer feel to it. These were a huge hit at Watches and Wonders, where you have the concentric circle pattern in gray, and the back is light salmon, the back plate. The original 2, the plates were sort of like a dark gray. The concentric rings were either black or blue. Those are held up by these pillars, which make it look like these circles are suspended. Very architectural, very cool, very original. Love the design. It respects tradition, but stands alone on its own as well. They're not afraid to take risks. They make about 600 watches a year for the world, so they're very exclusive. They're not mass produced. They all pretty much use the same movement, except for Un Full Journée uses the eccentric caliber 3 movement. If you look at the movement, the finishing, little quirky things as well, like, the sign for water resistance has always been a fish. They use a duck, which is kind of like a tongue-in-cheek approach into not taking itself too seriously, which I like, but at the same time, when you look at the finishing, they honor the tradition of horology and watchmaking, and I really respect that about Trilobe. You can definitely read my article that I wrote earlier this year in Watch Time India. I went into depth. I interviewed Gauthier Masseneau. I also did a podcast on Thanksgiving with him, which you can listen to. It was a privilege and an honor. But if you're looking for something that's different, that no one else has, and you don't necessarily want anyone to know what you're wearing, but you want a watch that contends with the best of them, look at Trilobe. They're phenomenal. Reach out to me at amitdavehonda@gmail.com or visit my website at www.amitdavehonda.com if you have any questions.